This was another really long email that came in, but at the end of the day, basically what she believes that if she would have had sex more often with her husband, that he would not have had an affair. Wow. And there was a lot to this, but to protect, I didn't want to give any big details because I know she's on the call today, and she wants her husband to listen to the replay. So I'm just going to leave it very general with the question. So the question is, does a lack of sex contribute to an unfaithful partner's cheating or, propensity to have an affair? And the answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are men that have sex with their wives every single day that have affairs. There are sexless marriages where people don't have affairs. So this is not a one-to-one correlation. There is no magic number that says, oh, if you have sex this many times, your partner will never cheat on you. Cheating, affairs, betrayal, pornography addiction, whatever we're talking about, those have nothing to do with the betrayed partner. And it certainly has nothing to do with your sex life. There are plenty of marriages out there that hit dry spells, right? I mean, nobody's perfect. There's no perfect marriage, right? So there are dry spells. And there are plenty of situations where those dry spells did not lead to somebody having an affair. So to this betrayed partner, absolutely not. There is no direct correlation. But what I want to talk about is why. So why is it that sex itself is not a is not a contributing factor to an affair? Because affairs have nothing to do with sex. They truly don't. It's not, let me just hit a mute here so everybody can hear me. There we go. So can marriages have issues within them? Absolutely. Every single marriage does. Like I've already said, there's no perfect person. So how can there be a perfect relationship, right? We're all flawed human beings, hopefully growing, hopefully learning, hopefully becoming, but there is no perfect person. So there's no such thing as a perfect marriage. There's no such thing as a perfect sex life. But this is what's interesting and again, we work with unfaithful partners a lot. And when we ask them, kind of in our intake, we might ask questions like, what was it that attracted you to the affair partner? Most of the time, the answers are about how an affair partner made them feel. It's not about the affair partner themselves. It's not about the sex. It's not about this. It's not about that. It's about, well, you know what? I felt alive when I was with my affair partner. I felt important when I was with my affair partner. So do you hear all that? It's all I. It's not, oh, my affair partner was the love of my life. Oh, my affair partner was this wonderful person. No, it's I felt good when I was with my affair partner. I felt alive. I felt validated. I felt needed. I felt. So it's really not about sex. It's not. A core why. And I teach this in, I think it's in, maybe it's in Helping Her Heal. I can't remember. Or maybe it's in What's My Why. But regardless, there's a difference between excuses and reasons. Okay. So let me just spend a couple minutes on the difference between excuses and reasons. What we do is help unfaithful partners get to the reason. Okay. Get out of excuses and into the reasons. Excuses are external. You didn't want to have sex with me. You didn't pay attention to me. We didn't have a good marriage. We weren't close. Our sex life wasn't great. My job was stressful. Those are all what I call external excuses. Okay. Now, the unfaithful partners believe them. They believe them 100%. I don't think that they're making them up. They believe them because they've been using them as the justification. So I just launched a course called The How. And this is not to promote courses, but just to let you know that there's so much deeper in here. So The How, basically what I teach is how the unfaithful partner's brain rewrites reality. It like shape shifts reality in order to justify an affair, okay? Part of that justification includes creating excuses. Oh, my wife doesn't care about me. My husband never listens to me. So part of the unraveling that the unfaithful partners need to do is that break apart the excuses and get to the core reason why. A true why only has I. That's it. I made this choice. I was insecure. I needed validation. I. So if you're a betrayed partner and the unfaithful partner is saying things to you like, you never wanted to have sex, or we weren't close, or you never wanted to do anything, I want you to hear me very clearly. Those are excuses. Now, I don't want you to then say to your spouse, oh, those are just excuses. Beth said those are excuses. You need to get to the core reason, because that's just going to start a fight, right? They need to, I want to say this bluntly, they need to come to us so that we can help them get underneath the how, underneath the justifications, underneath the excuses, so that we can help them get to what we call the root cause. Sarah talked about that. We are all of us on the team are certified in root cause therapy. That's a very specific type of therapy to get underneath the excuses. Because without that, betrayed partners will get stuck. This poor woman is literally blaming herself and her lack of libido for why her husband cheated on her. That's brutal. Like, seriously? And we've got a whole society out there and a ton of marriage counselors agreeing with her own, we call it misassignment of responsibility. This had nothing to do with her. This had nothing to do with her. The choices made by one person are the person's choices alone. Her husband had other options. He chose the worst one. He created a reality where having an affair was actually acceptable. That's on him. Now, on the other side, do we want to work on intimacy? Absolutely. Of course you do. But you don't need to take a specific class on intimacy. Once each person becomes independently healthy and they both do their own individual work, intimacy comes back naturally, because you're both new people. You're both on the other side.